Thanks very much, Ian. It's an honour to come along here today to speak to you. And my expectations as a coach and what I expect from my players is every time they go out and play for me, I expect them to give me 200%. I got often asked many times, why has the Sevens team been very, very successful? And I put it down to 4 qualities. And the first and foremost is the team quality of together everyone achieves more. I'm never self-reliant on the players with the X factors to win me tournaments. I could lose my very best player in the very first minute of a tournament, my second best player, my 2-3 players through injury. I have a favourite saying, whoever plays will do the job. And I've got to actually display that confidence in the guys that come in off the bench, that they'll get out and do the job for me. The second quality is unity. Unity's family. And when I talk about family, when I talk about unity, my guys, believe it or not, are the fittest rugby players in New Zealand. And what drives them, my trainings are harder than any game that they'll ever play. But believe it or not, by smashing them at trainings and getting the best out of them, I'm not only challenging them physically, but I'm really challenging them mentally, and that actually unifies them. And it gives them that real competitive edge. The third quality is passion, being proud of whom you represent and what the jersey means to my players. And I can assure you it means everything. In a business and a working sense, what that polo shirt means to you. Because with passion should come enjoyment. The fourth quality is team discipline. I break that into 2 areas. You've got to have a work ethic. You've got to be self-motivated, and you've got to train at an intensity so when you come into our assemblies and camps that you will pass all the fitness tests, and we will leave these shores with the fittest rugby team in the following tournament that we're looking to attend. So that to me is huge. The other part of the discipline is built around nutrition. Nutrition wins me tournaments. What you eat is what you are. And I'm really ruthless around nutrition because my players can never eat anything fried. Nothing fried whatsoever. Building into a tournament, it's the red meats up until Wednesday. From then on, it's the pastas, all the veggies, steamed veggies, salads, breads, fruits, and all the chicken and fish. That's what it is. So when we get that right, what it gives me is consistency in performance. If I know all my players are eating the right types of foods, they've got the right fuel, because as I said, my trainings are harder than any game they'll ever play, so the games, in a sense, should be easier. But when it comes to those finals that you need to win, the games are very, very competitive. So if you get those 4 qualities, the team, the unity, the passion, and the discipline right, that certainly creates a culture, and certainly a successful one to me, which is second to none, and which certainly worked for us over the years. What do I look at when I'm going out to look for players? What do I look for? The qualities are based around character and coachability. If I've got 2 players neck and neck for a position on my side, I'll always select the player that's going to add and give me more to my team. Because if they've got character and you've taken an instant liking to them, they're also very, very coachable. And I find that to be very, very good in the sense that those guys with the character generally have the mental toughness to battle through the trainings as hard as they have to and have all those other qualities based around having that work ethic. So character and coachability to me are very, very important ingredients when looking to select teams, whether it be in a business sense or in the sporting sense as well. An area that I've also found that's worked for me over the years, I work with a lot of Pacific Islanders, a lot of Polynesians, and how do I get the best out of a Jonah Lomu? How do I get the best out of a Christian Cullen or any type of player? But generally, when I've worked with a lot of these Pacific Islanders that have come into my team so young, they can make my team as a 17-year-old. Liam Messam, one of the current All Blacks, was in my team as a 17-year-old. Tanarau Latimer was in as a 17-year-old. Caleb Ralph, who was an All Black, was in there as a 17-year-old. These guys so young have to make lifestyle changes. In other words, adapt to all the disciplines that are required as a coach that I set around these standards. They have to adjust coming from an amateur era to the professional era. And when I look at this and how do I get the best out of someone like Jonah, all of a sudden thrust in front of him is to make all these nutritional changes. All of a sudden he's got to have the work ethic that he may not have had, because a lot of young people these days make all these different teams on their skill sets alone, on their natural talent. And a lot of them in the past, when you think about it, when they've made every school team going through the years, they've never been challenged in terms of the guys that are in that professional era. So when they leave school, all of a sudden they're up against these professionals and they struggle and they really, really battle. So with someone like Jonah, and what I've done over the years is I go and build relationships with their mum and dads. And when you build those relationships, what you are then, you're building trust. And when you build trust with these kids, with all this talent, those kids will do anything for you. And those, to me, are also key ingredients in which you need to have as a coach. Because the secret to being a good coach and a good manager is not what we know technically or tactically. It's always about your people skills. And if they like you, they will play for you or they will work for you. Your ability to communicate and get on with your players. And I've found that to be a real key. Perhaps it's not so much a secret, but a real key ingredient to getting on with your staff. I talk about leadership a little bit. In Eric Rush, I had a fantastic leader for 13 years. When you've got someone that leads from the front, I can tell you right now, you'll have an outstanding team. It's very important when you're looking to place someone with a leadership role within your team. And I've certainly done that over a number of years, where I've had some wonderful captains, not only Eric Rush, Carl Tanana, Liam Messam, Tafai Aosa, and I've got a magnificent captain now and a guy by the name of GJ Forbes. I'm very traditional as a coach. When I talk about tradition, I talk about I never work away from things that have worked for me. In other words, I don't compromise as a coach. I'm ruthless at training. I have a lot of systems that are perhaps they're not so much outdated, but they work for me, so I won't work away from them. But in terms of innovation, I'm always looking to move ahead with the times and only inject what I need to out of those new initiatives that may come our way. So that to me is important. And I do lots and lots of research overseas in different sports, AFL in some cases. I've been there and spent some time in Melbourne and looked at what they do, because that's similar to our game in terms of their conditioning levels, which is really important. I may go to Rugby League and look at what they do defensively, because they can add to our game, and also go to the game of touch rugby, which is probably our nearest cousin or relation to what we have in the game of sevens. Most memorable times coaching the All Black Sevens team. In the time I've been coaching them, there's nothing better than going to a Com Games and being successful and winning a gold medal, listening to the national anthem, the raising of the flag, and seeing your player being presented with a gold medal. So I'm going to probably finish with a couple of quotes which mean a lot to me, and I look for simplicity as a coach. Nothing ever too complex. I'm pretty straight up, and as I said, pretty traditional. The 6 most important words in life is I admit I made a mistake, which is based around humility and being humble, because that to me is a vital quality. We're always quick to blame someone or something. In actual fact, when you take a brunt of the blame, you get a lot of kudos for that. The 5 most important words is you did a great job, which is empathy. When you pat someone on the back and you said you've done something well or you've done a great job, that actually means a lot to that person. The 4 most important words is what is your opinion, which is coaching. The most important people in the company that I work for are the people on the coalface who are the voice and face of your company. And when you want them to buy into something, go and ask them what they think and they'll buy into what you want. The 3 most important words is could you please, which is courtesy. The 2 most important words is thank you, which is manners. And the 1 most important word is we, which is team. And the least most important word is I. Finally, you must always remember that nothing in this world ever comes easy. Achievement's all about commitment. You make sacrifices and you never look for excuses. Just once again, guys, thanks very much for giving me this brief opportunity to come along and talk to you tonight. You've been a wonderful audience, and thanks very much. Thank you.